guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews. We got a pretty cool one here today. We're going to be reviewing this all new 2022 Maserati Levante Modena S. And before we start, I just want to give a huge thank you to Dan and the rest of the management and staff here at Alfa Romeo and Maserati of St. Petersburg for making this review possible. These guys have a beautiful dealership located right off of I-275. I'll leave links to their inventory below. But if you're in the Tampa area looking for a new car or truck, I would definitely suggest checking these guys out and ask for Dan. So for those of you guys who don't know, the Levante has been part of Maserati's lineup since 2016. That's when the first generation came out. And although we're still sitting on that same first generation platform, we are gonna get some updates. So for example, this is the first year of the 2022 Modena S. So here we're gonna have a 550 horsepower twin turbo V8. We're gonna have Skyactiv adaptive damping air suspension, Q4 intelligent all-wheel drive. As we go inside, you'll see we have aluminum paddle shifters, dark exterior elements all over this SUV. And their main target with this SUV was to be able to not just be able to carve the track, but also to deliver in all weather and all terrain conditions too. So we'll check it out once we go around this vehicle. Of course, this vehicle is going to start around $115,000. This exterior color is going to be Nero Rebel, and as we go inside, you'll see it's going to be Nero Rosso. So really beautiful red accented interior. But as far as the front styling, let's jump right in. So up front, you're going to notice we're going to have full LED headlights. You're going to have a daytime running strip right up top. The headlight housing is going to be a gunmetal gray, really beautiful metallic color with some smoke chrome right around this Maserati. Really beautiful. Headlight housing over here is going to be black right next to your LEDs, and a projector little low beam right over here right next to your turn signal. But continuing along, you are going to get an LED fog light over here too. It's not that low, it's basically at the same level as your headlights, so you're not going to really see the most from the fog, but they still definitely add when it comes to this front styling. Huge air curtain over here. It's going to be functional over here for aerodynamics, and right up front it leads directly to your intercooler because this is going to be a twin turbo V8. And as we continue, we're going to have full front parking sensing system too, of course, with a $115,000 base price. It will be expected, but this vehicle is not going to be cutting any corners when it comes to luxury or performance. Right up front, massive grille. We are going to get shutters, so it's going to give you some active airflow. We're going to have a front facing camera right up front and a pretty large Maserati badge up front too. It's going to house your advanced safety features as well as an additional little badge right up top. But as we continue down, more airflow. There's going to be really a ton of airflow for this intercooler with your radiator right up top for this V8 engine. But anyway, as we continue up top, we can take a look at this color. Absolutely beautiful Nero Rebel black metallic. I don't know if I could pick up the metallic with this sunlight, but it is an absolutely gorgeous color. But continuing along, we can take a look at this wheel and tire setup, and again, absolutely beautiful design. You got a ton of spokes over here, but these are going to be Continental Sport Contact tires. These are going to be 22-inch rims. They're going to be wrapped in 265/35 ZR22 super sticky Sport Contact 6 tires. Definitely going to deliver some good performance. You can see quite a bit of junk sticking to these tires. Really impressive performance. And up front, you're going to notice you have a massive 6-piston Brembo brake caliper with drilled rotors too, so it's going to really help cool these brakes off. Continuing along, we got some heat extractors over here with the Modena S badging, and the S is going to be this brushed aluminum, really nice material, while these heat extractors are going to have some smoke chrome on the outside. But anyway, you got the turn signal on the mirror. As far as the glass itself, it's going to be massive, fills up the frame really well. You got blind spot monitoring, and it's a heated mirror as well. But as far as the window trim, no chrome at all. It's going to be this blacked out material, gloss black all the way around. This door, it's not going to be a frame up top. As you see, as we open it up, the window does come down to fit the frame, so not the best when it comes to longevity, but it's still going to definitely get the job done. We got the blacked out B-pillar right over here. Definitely keeps this styling really aggressive. But as far as the smart access, we're going to get it for the driver, front passenger, and the rear passengers. We got super dark tints out rear, really dark tints. We're not going to have any tints up front, but of course that can be added in the aftermarket. But anyway, another Maserati badge is going to be blacked out. The gas tank is going to be pushed to open. No easy fill. That's kind of unexpected, but you can simply just open it up right here. And of course, 93 octane fuel is recommended for this 3.8 liter twin turbo V8. But as far as this rear tire setup, we can take a look over here. Just going to be a single piston rear caliper, but we're still going to get the drilled and slotted, well, just drilled rotors. But as far as the tires, they're going to be 295/30 ZR22s, so we still get the 22-inch rims, but slightly skinnier tire compound. No plastic cladding either for the outside of this wheel well. We're just going to get the body color. But as we move along back, full LED lighting. We can get LED tail lights. We're gonna get the reverse lights and the turn signals over here as well. Really beautiful design. I like this little smoked chrome material with the smoked out chrome Maserati badge and the Levante right here is going to be another little bit smoke chrome. But anyway, continuing back, we got parking sensors out rear, to be expected with this pretty expensive SUV. Quad exhaust tips, they're going to be blacked out, but they're not going to fit flushly. As you see right over here, the exhaust tips are just going to be kind of like hanging out over here in the middle of these faux tips outside. But the diffuser, it's going to be blacked out. Pretty aggressive design. I like how there's holes, perforation outside these exhaust tips, definitely keeping it pretty aggressive. But we'll take a step back. You can take a look at the rear styling on this 2022 Levante Modena S one last time, and let's start this 3.8 liter V8 up and hear how she sounds. Guys, so that was of course the sound of the 3.8 liter twin turbo V8 sold by Maserati for this Modena S Levante, and it sounds absolutely insane. I hope you can pick it up through the camera, but lifting up this hood, we're gonna get struts, obviously expected with this pretty expensive SUV. But here you have it, your 3.8 liter twin turbo V8. We're gonna be making 550 horsepower in this SUV. Enough to get this thing to 60 under 4 seconds. Unbelievably fast acceleration. But as you see, really beautiful design. You got dual throttle bodies up front, dual intakes in here as well. But here you have it, pretty good design. We're not gonna get any strut tower braces, unfortunately. That may affect the overall handling, but we'll check all that out once we take this SUV out for a drive. We can shut this hood right here and take a look at those daytime running strips. Definitely makes this front styling definitely look much nicer. But that's about it for the exterior on this 2022 Maserati Levante Modena S. Let's take a step over here and check out the interior. So as we step inside, everything up top is going to be unbelievably soft materials for your arm's going to rest. You got some grained carbon fiber right beneath it, some aluminum underneath with a really nice weighted aluminum door handle. And as you see, it fits this little opening area really well. Beautiful contrast red stitch leather underneath. Unbelievably soft material, great area to rest your arm. Over here too, very soft area to rest your arm. You're gonna have Power One Touch for all 4 windows, of course. They're gonna be power folding, and you have the 4-way adjustments right over here. And as far as this Bowers & Wilkins sound system, it is quite easily the best sound system that I've ever heard in my life. It shakes your skull, it's so good. Stepping inside, you got this aluminum Maserati nameplate. This area over here is gonna be illuminated. You can't really tell right now, but at night, it's gonna be easier to pick it up. But as far as these seats, as soon as I sat in them, I was like, ooh, this is nice. Guys, this is some really high quality Italian leather. They're gonna be perforated, heated, and cooled. Really nice for some Florida heat. The support, really impressive too. The bowstrings, although they're not stiff, they're not gonna be poking in your back. They're gonna be very supportive, even for the bottom. Definitely a really sporty seat while still being unbelievably comfortable and luxurious. The headrest, very soft too. You got the red Maserati little badge over here. But before we take a step inside, you can take a look at these adjustments. You're gonna have 4-way lumbar control. You can slide them, lift them in both directions and drop them, as well as recline right over here. But taking a step inside this 2022 Levante Modena S. So first thing I noticed, well, we'll drop this air roll by 1 so you guys can hear a little better. But the first thing I noticed is going to be the steering wheel. It's going to be really large. It's going to be larger than the Stelvio. I kind of wish it was more similar to the Stelvio steering wheel, but it's still going to be really impressive. You're going to have a nice 10-2 bolstering notch right here. Pretty thick overall, not quite as thick as the Stelvio, but still pretty impressive. I like this perforated leather, really nice thumb slot. It caves in for your hands really well over here as well. You're going to get more perforated leather compared to the Stelvio. So as far as the materials, you're probably going to get more high quality. It's just the shape. I definitely prefer the shape of the Stelvio, but not a big deal. As far as the steering wheel controls, you got your radar cruise right here, hill descent controls, and your lane keep assist. You can adjust the cruise control with this little toggle over here. And for the horn, very nice rubberized material. As far as the horn itself, really aggressive sounding horn, one of the more aggressive sounding horns you would kind of expect it with this pretty pricey SUV, but it's definitely not going to disappoint. People are definitely going to be getting out of your way. You got some chrome trim, aluminum trim on the outside over here. It does cave in over here too. Very nice shape. Don't really see that very often. It's not a flat bottom steering wheel, but the areas where you're going to be touching definitely feel really high quality. You got your voice commands right here, call settings. You can hang up the phone and you can adjust between this infotainment. So as far as the infotainment, we can look at the oil pressure, oil temperature, and the transmission temperature. That's what we're currently looking at. You can take a look at the digital speedo as well, and the vehicle settings. So you can also see the stored messages, your start stop. You can turn that off for the purpose of this review. See your trip information, driver assist, and if you press this button right next to it, you can toggle between a whole different sets of screens. So as far as the vehicle info, you can adjust between tire pressure, Drive mode, you can see where the power is being sent. You can see the maintenance information, see when you're going to need to get your oil changed and whatnot. You can see the battery voltage. That's nice. Definitely going to give you an alert before you got to get this battery replaced. But anyway, that's about it. My personal favorite is just look at this digital speedo. As far as the speedometer, it goes to 230 miles per hour. That's pretty impressive. The tach goes to 7,200. So really high revving V8 engine, even for a turbocharged engine, that's really impressive for a 7,200 RPM redline. But as you see over here in this corner, we are going to get adaptive air suspension too. That toggle switch is going to be right here. I'll show you guys a little bit of a clip before we take it out for a drive of the differences between its lowest mode and its highest mode. But that's about it for this area over here. Of course, we're going to get automatic headlights, rain sensing wipers to be expected, but check out these paddle shifters. They are massive and they're going to be column mounted, so they're not going to be moving when you turn the steering wheel. But as far as the dashboard, you can get the same stitch material as you have for the door panel. Really nice red contrast stitching, super soft leather. You get a Maserati clock right up front over here. Super soft leather is going to continue. That grained carbon fiber is going to be right beneath it, and that grained carbon fiber is going to be covering all over this little center area over here. But as far as this display, we're going to get Maserati's 8.4-inch display. As far as the home settings, you can take a look at the phone and the music information. You can see the climate too, right up top in the corners, and you can see the time right in the middle. But for the media, you can see what songs playing. You can change between Sirius, AM, FM, as well as your phone. As far as the comfort, you can see the air conditioning settings, you can see the vents, you can see the heated seats, heated steering wheel, cooled seats as well. For the nav, let's take a look at this map. So we're going to get basically Google Maps, super high quality. The map itself, unbelievably responsive. You can move it around just about everywhere. Definitely a nice map overall. For the phone settings, you can connect the phone. We currently don't have one set up. For the vehicle settings, let's check them out. We should have some pretty cool stuff. You can turn off the start stop. For the purposes of this review, we have it turned off. You also get a surround camera. So you press this button, you have a 360 sensing camera. We have the rear view camera right next to it. You can adjust between wide lens. You can adjust between front facing too. So for the front facing, you can also have trajectory with guidance markers. As you turn the wheel, you can see everything moves around quite a bit. Unbelievably impressive camera system. Kind of reminds me of the limited AT4 GMC Sierra that we reviewed on this channel last week. But as far as the apps, we can take a look at them right here. Of course, we're going to get Alexa. We're going to have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, audio settings, activate services, and whatnot. You can take a scroll, take a look at all the apps we get on this SUV. But anyway, beneath that, we can get out of here, go back to just the home screen. Beneath that, we're going to have automatic climate, of course, adjust the vents next to it. We are going to get heated and cooled seats. We're also going to get a heated steering wheel in this SUV. Back here, you can turn off your traction control. You got your off-road mode, ICE, sport, and your active damping. You got an electronic parking brake, and you have your active ride height right here. The hazards are right next to it. You can adjust the volume right here. You can change the tuning stations right beneath it. As far as this gear selector for this 8-speed automatic transmission, I like the Maserati nameplate. It's going to be stitched leather with some aluminum on the outside, but similar to most slapsticks, you simply press the button, pull it back, you're in drive, slap it to the left, you're in your manual shift modes. And this is the proper direction. So to upshift, you pull back, to downshift, you push forward. But we have these really nice aluminum paddle shifters, so I don't think most people are going to be using this manual shift mode. But to put it into reverse, you push the button and push it forward. You can see a 360 camera. You got the really high resolution rear view camera. We already checked out all of that. We can press this park button, push us right back into park. But anyway, this whole area, like we mentioned, it's going to be carbon fiber. You press this button, you have access to your cup holders, and we are going to get a cigarette lighter. You press this button and it's going to start heating up. We got two rubberized cup holders over here. We got an aux cord, USB-A, and an SD card over there too, and some really nice felt lined storage. And you can push this thing back and it's going to kind of close and lead flushly for the rest of this carbon fiber trim. The cigarette lighter just heat up. But you take a look at the red ring, it's going to be super hot in there. Definitely hot enough to light up your cigarette. But to put this thing back into place, these are kind of tricky. They do require a little bit of effort to close. But let's check out the center console. It's going to be super soft leather, really nice area to rest your elbow. Press this button and it opens right up, and it's going to be lined with felt. You're going to get two additional cup holders. So you might be asking, why would you have cup holders in a center console? So the reason for that, if you can notice this on-off switch, we're going to have air conditioning vents in here. So you can put some bottles of champagne, some soda, whatever, and you can have them cooled off with that air vent right over there. But anyway, we can shut this thing up. Before we do that, you do get an additional cigarette lighter / 12 volt. We can close that thing up right here. To check out the glove box, we can head right over here. This area is going to be still soft touch material, unbelievably impressive. Even the areas where you wouldn't be touching very often are still going to be soft touch. You pull this latch and it opens right up. We're going to have a felt line center console, and it is absolutely massive. You're going to probably fit like 40-50 license plates. The opening is actually ridiculous. You can put some business cards right over here. and really good use of space. It's gonna be lined with felt too. And if we didn't mention this little area over here, it's also gonna be lined with felt. So they really did not skip out on any of the high quality materials. But as far as this rear view mirror, it's gonna be kind of dated, but it's still gonna be auto dimming, of course, very nice quality. We got this moonroof over here. So to open it up, you just press that button and you can watch the shade pull all the way back, and it's a really solid piece of glass. You can press the shade button one more time, watch it close all the way. And now you can press this button and watch the sunroof or moonroof open up. And it doesn't open up all the way. You can press the button, it opens up a little bit more, but that's about it. It's a pretty nice day right now in St. Petersburg, Florida. You guys can see it's not the sunniest day, and I personally don't like keeping the sunroof open for like audio quality purposes, so we'll get it shut right here. But still really nice to have. Definitely put some well-needed light into this pretty dark cabin, but really beautiful overall. We can take a look at this window sticker right over here and see anything that I may have missed. So as you mentioned, we're gonna have 550 horsepower, 538 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this thing at 60 in under 4 seconds. Unbelievably fast SUV. You're gonna have all-wheel drive, active air suspension, Skyhook performance suspension with electronic damping, limited slip differential, electric power steering, sport mode and off-road mode, ICE, which stands for increased control and efficiency mode, engine start-stop system, 20-inch staggered rims, that's standard. This vehicle is going to have 22s. We're going to have 18-inch spare tire, dual cast front braking system, gloss black painted brake calipers with Maserati script. These are all standard features. You guys can pause, take a look at all of them. I'm not going to go through all of that. We're going to get a 7-inch driver information display. Of course, we're going to get the piano black composite trim, dual zone automatic climate control with an air quality sensor, HomeLink garage door opener, hands-free power tailgate, of course, with kick to open function too. That's pretty nice to have. We're gonna, of course, have these paddle shifters, 8.4-inch display, Alexa built-in, airbag system, front rear parking sensor, surround view camera, active blind spot, lane keep assist, forward collision warning, pedestrian recognition and traffic sign recognition, adaptive cruise control with stop and go, active driving assist, adaptive full LED matrix headlamps, so they do swivel when you turn the wheel, full LED fog lamps and tail lamps, alarm system, TPMS, stability program, automatic hill hold descent control, and the brake assistance system. That's all your standard equipment. We are going to get some options. We're going to get the 3D carbon fiber trim, that's $3 grand, 22-inch rims, that's $4, high premium sound system. It sounds insane, guys. It's going to be $2,500. The mica paint's going to be $1,200. Stitch Trident on the headrest is going to run you an additional $400. That little Trident right there is going to run you $400. I'd probably skip out on that if I was building this car myself, but if you think it looks cool, more power to you. So also full natural drilled leather, that's going to run you an additional $2,500. So this perforated leather is going to be naturally drilled, and that's going to be pretty expensive. But after all that, we're also going to get ventilated front seats. After all these options, we're going to be sitting around $130,000. So not the priciest SUV considering what you get, especially considering the performance, but $130,000 is obviously a very expensive SUV. But as far as like the materials quality and the performance, it definitely should speak for itself. We'll put the sticker right back over here. That's about it for the front seat, guys. Unbelievably impressive so far. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the materials. All right, guys, so stepping in the back seat of this 2022 Levante Modena S. So up top, still gonna have that super soft touch materials. Up front, we're also gonna have the dual pane front windows, but out rear, as you notice, we're still gonna have dual pane front windows. So once you take this thing out on the road, we'll really see how quiet it is for the interior. But down here, more of that carbon fiber trim, aluminum beneath it, and this door handle fits absolutely perfectly. The quality on this door panel is unbelievably impressive. We're gonna get the red stitching right over here, very soft, nice area to rest your arm, very nice area over here too. This area right here is gonna be hard plastic, but it is rubberized, very high quality texture material, Power One touch for the window, and the dual Bowers & Wilkins sound systems right over here, and they sound, like I said, insane. This area over here also going to be felt. The material outside for this bottom part of the door panel is going to have a rubberized texture too, so no cheap hard plastic anywhere in this interior. Definitely a thumbs up for Maserati. But again, another illuminated nameplate. You can kind of see the illumination a little bit better over here because it's a little bit darker, but the outside is going to be aluminum. As far as the seats, you can check them out. They're not going to extend all the way to this little door frame. This area is going to be hard plastic, but the seats themselves still going to be the beautiful red on black drilled leather. Very nice softness to it. Not the most bolstering support, but they do cave in pretty deeply for a back seat, so still going to be more than suitable enough. We'll take a step back here, see how much space is offered. And again, I'm 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have about like 2-3 inches of space, a little more legroom than what we had in the Stelvio TI that we reviewed on this channel. Still more than suitable. I definitely wouldn't be complaining over here for long trips, but compared to some of the other vehicles in the mid-size SUV segment, there definitely are vehicles with larger back seats. But again, that's not what this SUV is about. You can press this little button right here. We have an additional cigarette outlet, 2 USB ports over here, your air vents over here, no third zone climate control. That's kind of unfortunate, but again, it's still nice that we do get vents. 2 cargo nets behind both of the seats, and these seats, even for the rear, are unbelievably comfortable. The middle area over here is super soft with very solid bolstering, which doesn't pinch you in your sides. The headrest too, unbelievably soft headrest, even for a back seat. We can take a look at this little center cubby, and we do get a string over here. This area, it's gonna be really soft, very soft area to rest your elbow. Rubberized cup holders wrapped in aluminum on the outside. Pretty nice overall, but we can shut this thing up. That's about it for the back seat. We can take a look at the view out of this panoramic moonroof. Absolutely beautiful back here, but let's take a look at the trunk real quick and then take this 2022 Levante Modena S out for a drive. All right, guys, so as we saw on the window sticker, this vehicle is going to have the kick function tailgate. So you simply swipe one time with your foot and it opens right up. So we are going to get a tonneau cover. It's going to keep people from looking at what's inside this trunk. But as you see, not the largest trunk, a little bit larger than what we had with the Stelvio, but not by much. And the step-in heights can be a little bit higher up compared to the Stelvio. Those seats do fall down 40-40-20, and you can probably fit a 70-inch TV back here. To shut it up, the button is going to be on the bottom, so pretty convenient for if you are taking groceries out, and it does give you a couple seconds before it starts to fall. But that's about it, guys. You guys can take a look at the rear styling on this Levante Modena S one last time, and let's take this car out for a drive. All right, guys, now that we've just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this all-new 2022 Maserati Levante Modena S, let's take it out for a drive. And we're going to start off in normal mode and then transition into sport and just see what the overall differences are. I'll try to show you guys how the paddle shifters work too. But my first impressions are the steering. It's not going to quite feel as direct as the Stelvio. The steering wheel also doesn't feel quite as precise. I'm telling you, the Stelvio is one of the most impressive steering vehicles on the road today. But this Maserati still has phenomenal steering. I don't want to make it seem like it doesn't. The steering wheel feels very nice in your hands. The 10-2 bolstering notches are very thick, and they do have a very great 9-3 location. But other than that, you do hear a really good rumble from the exhaust, even in normal mode. It's not that loud, but it definitely makes a really nice noise. And just barely on the gas, going to like 1,000 RPM in normal mode, it just feels like it's ready to pull. So very strong pulling motor. But as soon as we get a chance, we'll step out onto this road right over here. But all right, guys, stepping out over here in normal mode, on the gas about 1/3 of the way, nothing crazy. You could just feel this thing can pull for days, going to about 30 miles an hour, basically with zero effort. Unbelievably impressive. And we got a couple twisties coming up over here. It'll give us a good opportunity to see how this vehicle can handle in normal mode, and it changes directions really well, especially considering this vehicle's weight. Well, we got a sharp turn coming up right here. We'll step on the brakes, throwing it in. Wow, this thing changes directions really well. Basically zero body roll, and coming out on the gas about 1/3 of the way. Once the boost kicks in, you really do feel a very solid shove. But all right, let's see this vehicle's turning radius. Pretty impressive turning radius. And stepping out here, leaning to about halfway. Oh my God. Wow, that was only about half throttle, and this thing just takes off. Wow, that was really fast. I barely even stepped in the gas. On the brakes, about to throw it in. Wow, there's barely any body roll. Just as impressive as the Stelvio. And a little bit of turbo lag, but once it kicks in, at about 1/3 throttle, you get a really serious torque shove. Pretty impressive SUV so far. We'll try it out in sport mode in 1 second, but we got a couple more twisties right here. Even in normal mode, this vehicle feels really surprisingly sporty, even considering it being a pretty heavy SUV. I'll throw on the POV hat a little bit later in this video so you guys can get a little bit of a first-hand look, but so far I am definitely impressed. But okay, stepping onto this road in sport mode, wow, this throttle is a lot more sensitive. We go to about 3,000 RPM with like 6th throttle, and the exhaust definitely opens up quite a bit. It sounds really good. But we got a stop sign over here, so it'll give us a good opportunity to see how this SUV can accelerate off the line in sport mode. We're obviously not going to launch it or anything, but just lean into the throttle right here. Wow! And once the boost kicks in, whoo! Yeah, we don't have to push it a whole lot farther than that. Wow, this is a really fast SUV, and the exhaust note is absolutely incredible. Throwing it through the turns too, you still have really impressive handling. We'll try out these paddle shifters. Whew, those downshifts are instant, and whew, once that boost kicks in, this thing is gone. This thing sounds really nice. But anyway, I'm gonna throw on the POV hat, try to give you guys a nice sense on how this vehicle is firsthand, and I'll catch back with you in 1 second. But all right, guys, second gear on the gas. Oh my gosh. Whew. So it does downshift you into first, but good God, is this thing fast. Downshift in the second. It hits these turns really impressively. Wow. Yeah, we don't have to push it much farther than that. I hope you guys get the point. This is seriously a no joke SUV. We'll put it right back into normal mode right here and just show you guys how it handles these twisties in normal mode. It stays pretty much just as flat. It's just the steering. It's a little bit less precise, but it's still unbelievably composed. Really impressive SUV. But just in regular normal mode, everything does quiet down quite a bit. The exhaust gets a lot quieter, the throttle becomes a lot less sensitive, and you can really use this vehicle as a luxury SUV when you're in normal mode because it handles the bumps unbelievably with this air suspension, and the air suspension does tighten up in sport and make this a really well-performing SUV. And even in normal mode, you're still handling the turns really impressively, but the biggest difference in normal mode is going to be the throttle and the exhaust, because it's going to allow you to really drive this vehicle luxuriously, not just like a madman using all 550 of this vehicle's incredible horsepowers. But other than that, guys, we're going to take this thing back to Alfa Romeo and Maserati of St. Petersburg, Florida. And again, huge thanks to them for making this review possible. I'll lean into about halfway right here. Once the boost kicks in, oof, this thing is just an absolute beast. But again, huge thanks to them for making this review possible. Absolute monster of an SUV. One of my favorite vehicles that I've ever driven in my life. Right behind the C8 Corvette limited edition, the R edition, but this is right up there in terms of smile on the face. This is a seriously fast car, beautiful styling, and it has a ton of space, even in the back seat, more than enough space for somebody that's 6 feet tall. So if you got the money, you want a vehicle that's going to put a smile on your face every single time, and you want to be able to still be able to use it as a family vehicle, I would 100% recommend this to you. I'll definitely check out Alfa Romeo and Maserati of St. Petersburg also. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, join the W.T.F family. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know I'm beyond grateful for all the subscribers. You know, the channel's just not possible without you guys, and I really have a serious appreciation for each and every one of you. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helped me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific vehicles you'd like to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try to get those videos for you as soon as possible. But other than that, again, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time making this video, and I hope all of you have a great day.